Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're taking a closer look at the Klo&Co Alpesailer model. The name is a combination of the name Alps, the largest mountain chain in Europe, and sailor, a type of sailboat. It should signify that this is a go anywhere, do anything type of a watch. When brands decide to do a universal type of a watch, they risk making a mishmash of styles where you end up either liking it if they hit your taste, or simply hating it because it becomes a styling mess. This model, with its integrated bracelet case that is clearly inspired by the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, all the way down to the perfectly aligned bezel screws, a super compressor diver inspired internal rotating bezel, but with two black onyx inlaid crowns giving a dressy vibe, and a field watch looking dial and hands, is a perfect example of trying to put different styles into a single watch. Whether you like it or not is a matter of taste. I personally don't. It is interesting, but it looks more like a mess than a cohesive and well thought out piece. I also don't like the fact the minute hand is very short, not reaching its markers, while the seconds hand on the other hand is so long it goes past them, almost touching the sloped bezel. It is still pretty legible as the dial itself is pretty simple with large numerals. The only time legibility suffers is in the dark, as the lume is pretty weak, especially on the numerals. Regardless of my personal taste and me saying I don't like the look, there is one thing I cannot fault it for, and that is build quality. Everything is put really well together. The case has a lot of different surfaces and finishes, and they're all well executed with clearly separated polished and brushed parts. With 41mm in width and just 51mm lug to lug, including the protruding centerpiece, it looks well sized even on my 6.7-inch wrist, while the bracelet is one of the best I tried recently. It is massive, features the same combination of finishes as the case, and I love the fact it tapers quite a lot, making for a comfortable fit. The dial part is also really well made, with almost no foreign materials found and with everything finished to a high degree. I even like the British racing green color of the dial, as it is a deep and rich green, while the matte finish is not dull but rather looks almost like it will show a sunburst effect. With a price of $450, it is also a bit on the high side, considering it comes with a Seiko NH35 movement and a clasp that has only regular micro adjustments, rather than a ratcheting one with the on-the-fly adjustment ability. It is definitely a polarizing watch, and one of those rare watches where I don't like the styling, but love the quality feel of it. I had a similar relationship with the Seiko BFK. I loved the bulky quality feel, but could never warm up to the looks enough to get one. It's the same with this. If you like the look, go for it, as it really is well made. And if you're like me, you will have to think really hard if you're willing to buy the watch solely on the fact it offers good specs and great quality for the price. In my experience, looks are the most important part of a watch purchase, as I have bought watches for their hype or amazing quality in the past, only to flip them after a while, as I never fell in love with the way they look. That is the reason I personally won't be keeping this, despite appreciating the quality. But I will keep my eyes on the brand itself, as they clearly know how to make a solid watch. They just need to work on styling, or concentrate on making a specific style rather than trying to get as many styles as possible into a single model. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.